the cops that you've interacted with, you came out of the academy with, and from people that you've talked to, how's the morale in the department currently?
It's low. I'm hearing problems begin with their family, with their wives, with their husbands, with their kids. Like, I'm firsthand seeing it.
How much overtime were you doing, and how did it affect you? Like, how
60,
much overtime was there a cap, and how did it affect you? Is that part of the reason you left? You said it was. So, like, could you just elaborate on that part?
60 to 70 hours a month of overtime. But the reason why I was explaining the end of the line is because it's the type of overtime that I'm doing that's adding to my frustration. Because once again, you guys are having me deal with the same shit that I already deal with on a regular day-to-day basis at work. Homeless. And you're giving me nothing but more homeless overtime that I don't want. And on my days off. So now I sleep my days away, up until 1 in the afternoon, because I get home by 5:30. I try to get 7 hours. I wake up by 1. And I have to start getting ready again on my day off just to go back to work for this piece of shit overtime. I can't. And then it's one of those where it's like, yo, you got 3 notifications waiting for you at roll call, and you can't say no to any of them. I can't switch out. I can't do this, because guess what? All the other guys are fucked with it too. So it's not just me. It's everyone else in the unit. The only difference between me and the other cops, I'm sorry, but I value my time. I value my effort. I know my role. This is not for me. And to add on to what you said, I put in 10 transfers to get the hell out of this unit. I know a lot of people think, oh, well, what did you do to get out of the unit? I've exhausted all my options. I've exhausted from the first week that I got transferred to that unit, I put in a 57. I don't care if I only had 6 months on. I want a 57 because I know this is not what I want. I never signed up for it. Get me out. Never went through. I mean, it got denied. Rightfully so. All right. I decided I'm going to wait till I hit 1 year on the job. 1 year on the job, I found 2 cops from the 72nd precinct that I wanted to do a mutual with. Please get me out. Mutuals were denied. Okay? To the 72nd precinct. Out of the 10 transfers, I put 4 mutuals, which all got shut down. The remaining 6 transfers that I put were to the health and wellness unit, to the TRT, CRT, anything active, any 6-2, the 6-0 precinct, I don't care where, even back to 34. Send me back to my home where the hell you took me from. And every single one was shot down. I brought it up to my CO. I've spoken to DIs about it. I'm not the type of cop to just stay quiet and that's it and just, I'm going to fucking go out there and work my way through. I'm going to make my destiny, I'm not just going to let it be controlled by the department. If I can have some control over it, I'm going to do that. And that's what I did. So I reached out to CEOs of the DB Bureau. I've used the sports unit as a way, maybe, helping them. Maybe they can help me. I've spoken to people from different precincts, commands, and I get the same thing. Oh, bro, it's so easy. I could definitely help you out. Or I know this guy. Yo, this guy could, yeah. Everybody knows everybody. But when it comes to finally asking for you to really help and make it happen, oh, you know what it is? You got to wait till after September. We got summer, no movements in summer. You got UNGA, you got Labor Day. Wait, all right? I did that last year. I did that earlier in the year last year, and I did it after Labor Day, after September, and the same shit. And guess what I did again? Earlier this year, I put in the same request, and it just get pushed off and pushed off. I only have one.
So what was your ultimate goal? Like, what'd you want? What was your ultimate goal? What forced you out? What was like the straw that broke the camel's back?
It's unfortunate that I left the department because I didn't want to leave the department at the time that I did. But unintentionally, like with how my mind works, I got lost in the world of the NYPD, which I let completely take over my life, and what's more importantly, my mindset. I was willing to compromise and give up my life for the job, and once I felt and realized that the job hijacked my mindset, that's when I knew, like, nah, I gotta call it quits. So my background, like I told you guys, is EMS, health and wellness, and fitness. I've been doing this for over 10 years, and one of my main things that I enjoyed the most was helping others with workouts, helping others through EMS, whatever it is I can do. I started to feel like this job pushed everything that I knew out of my head, and it was just homeless shit every single day. And
so Kevin, I just want to stop you there because obviously we get emotionally invested, and from what I hear, it sounds like you really wanted to be a cop, and they put you in a unit that you didn't like, that you didn't see yourself progressing in your career. You said it wasn't the unit that led to it, but it was definitely a contributing factor from what you're saying, right? And you're speaking on the psychological, right? You speak on the psychological effects of the overtime, and really ultimately about the quality of life. And I think with this, you're going to get a lot of support. There's going to be a lot of pushback. There's going to be people that say, well, you're brand new, you're a rookie, kind of suck it up. But obviously, to me, what it's saying is you didn't see an end to this, right? Because, some people would say, I grew up with this idea of, suck it up. I remember when I was in Iraq, I was 23 years old, and they would tell us, hey, listen, Friday, we got great news. We're packing up. We're going home. Guess what? Friday came, we packed up, and we went to a different spot, and we were there another month. So some people would say, suck it up. But I get it. I understand the overtime. So do you feel that this pressure with the overtime, the quality of life, being this unit that you didn't like, did this lead down a path? Did this deteriorate your mental health, your quality of life? What did you expect? Did you think it was going to get better, or you just saw that this is not going to change? Did you see this in 2-3 years from now that this would continue on? Is this something that you could sustain to hold out? What did you think? What did you expect? How did your mental health aspect take a toll?
I genuinely thought I would be able to stick it out to that 5-year mark. I wanted to see if I could possibly make it to the 5-year mark in the department. That was like a little goal for me as well. Make it to the 5 years. However I feel, I'll go from there, whether stay in the department or not. But with the overtime every single week on my days off with no overtime are already cut short because I sleep half the day. And I'm spending my days off not doing anything but recovering because I'm so exhausted physically and mentally from the week that I just had. Now you add on the overtime on my RDO, and you're only giving me 6 hours of free time, which I still have to go to work later that night. It's not, no. I wasn't feeling good anymore. I was going to work disgruntled. I'm a happy guy. I don't really let much bother me. I'm not the type of guy that brings work home. Whatever happens at work, it stays there. I don't take nothing personal. It is what it is. We keep it moving. And I knew this already. I knew joining the police department, you're going to miss holidays. You're going to miss events. You're going to miss whatever. That's fine. That's not an issue for me. I like working holidays anyways. I'm not that typical guy that needs to go out on my weekends or whatever. I'm an introvert. I'm a homebody. I'm fine. But when I can't even just get a little time to just decompress, just be able to just think and not about the job.
Well, was there a support system? What did the union say? Did anybody say hey, this is temporary, write it out, or this is going to be like this forever?
So in TD34, I had a union delegate. Being transferred over to this unit, I don't have a union delegate. I never had a union delegate. We've been told that so my unit, we don't have a precinct, just in case. We don't have a precinct. We fall out of CTTF, Citywide Traffic Task Force, out in Midtown on 30th Street, between 7th and 6th and 7th. So we're crammed in all the way on the top floor with CRT, Transportation Operations Division, traffic, We don't have no one to turn to. We don't have no union delegate. I tried. I even wanted to run for it. And I was told, oh, no, you can't. Then you're going to have to go up against the union delegate of the building. So who's the union delegate of the building? He never introduced himself to us. So I was forced to kind of reach out to my union delegate back in TD34. But there's really not much that he could do, So I even went the route of going to EAU. And I explained to them, listen, I need help. I'm stressed the fuck out. I'm not enjoying where I'm at now. And I'm not saying I need to be babied and help me, just help me get the hell out of here. That's all I need. Just that initial help of pulling me out of the unit. Once I'm out of the unit, I don't care where you put me. I'll be fine. I'll work my way through the system. EAU, their response was, well, do you have suicidal ideations or anything like that? No. Unfortunately, this is not a crisis situation, so we can't technically help you in that way. So because it's not a crisis situation, I was told there's nothing that they can do for me.
So,
I said, all right.
So ultimately, the overtime, like, because listen, a lot of people on here, they're older, they don't understand it. I mean, me too. When I look at it 2 times. I look at it once when I'm young, and I totally understand. If I'm working 7 days a week and I'm working tons of overtime, and there's no end in sight, and I'm somewhere I hate, I understand feeling hopeless. Like, what the hell am I doing? Did I make the right decision with my life? But then people sit there and say, when they're older, well, hey, you're not doing police work. You're a security guard. You're making a ton of money. And this is what you signed up for, kid. You know, and so you got those two things happening, right? And so there's people on all sides like saying they support you, and or they're against you, and you just didn't suck it up. You didn't take long enough. Ultimately, what would you say was the reasoning behind you saying, I'm done? Like, I can't do this anymore. I don't see a future in this department for myself.
No help. There was no help, and the level that I had to go to receive help, I'm fine. That's too much work for me to just get a little bit of help when I feel like it shouldn't be that hard. You know, listen, if you're a lazy cop, if you're looking to avoid any type of enforcement, any type of action, you're close to retirement, you want something to, just end your career nice and chill, sign up for the unit. This is the unit for you. Stay clear away from the radio. No radio runs. It's a good gig for you if that's how you are. But for someone like me, brand new, where no radio runs, what is that? I thought that's what cops do. You know, someone like me, this is not it. This is not it. And so because I couldn't get the help, I'm trying to be active. I'm trying to help the department. You know, and I can't get any little help. That's what kind of made me leave, because the overtime was much, but if you gave me this overtime, but I was doing police work, I'm satisfied.
So if we would have sent you if we would have said, listen, we'll get you to 7-5 tomorrow, and you're still getting slammed, because everybody's getting slammed, right? That's a number one complaint from everybody. They're getting slammed with the overtime. If you would have been the 7-5 answering radio runs, would that have kept you on the job?
Absolutely. You know, and I know, you don't know your transit. You know, we always nonstop, you're missing meal. Yeah, okay, I came from EMS. We were doing the same shit too. 10 to 15 radio runs a day. You know, the city back and forth, nonstop jobs, different jobs. That's the shit that I like. That's what I enjoy the most. And guess what? I know that's what I signed up for. And I wouldn't be complaining.
Listen, Kevin, I get it. I get it. All I want to do is be a cop. I think John agrees. Give me a thumbs up. I get it. The last thing I would want, there's a lot of people, a lot of naysayers right now on the podcast, but believe me, they're thinking the same thing. The last thing you want to do is become a cop. You're full of piss and vinegar. You're enthusiastic. You're working out. You're physically fit. And then they put you in this unit where some nurses guide you, and you're removing those that are mentally ill or emotionally disturbed. That's not a unit that you want to be in when you're brand new. You want to be out there getting the bad guys, making arrests. And you know what? You're an outlier. A lot of people here should be supporting you, because there's people out there right now that are getting their asses handed to them, and the entire department's been emasculated. And guys like you, we need guys like you and women like you out there that want to do the job and actually want to put their hands on people and arrest bad guys. So I get it. You're in a unit that you just can't stand. You don't see the point of it. It's not fitting you. You're working an extreme amount of overtime. There's a lot of people here saying suck it up. But you know what? Working 70 hours a month when you're brand new in a unit you don't like, that could really deteriorate your mental health. There's no support system out there.
Yeah,
we have to start thinking.
And no one on here has worked 7 days a week for months on end.
None of them. That's what I want. Thank you so much, John, because that's exactly what I wanted to say. No one here was working 7 days a week, unless you were overseas like myself. You were in Iraq and you worked every day. But that's different. It's a different environment. You're a cop. You're back and forth. You're sitting in traffic. You're brand new. You're in a unit you hate. I get it. And no one's listening to you. You're saying like, hey, I'm new. can someone help me out here? There's no union. There's no support system. There's no one to say, hey, you know what, kid? Maybe ride this out a little bit and you can land in a precinct. Or, there's like maybe if someone gave you a goal, like, hey, 6 more months and there's light at the end of the tunnel and you can get to the spot.
They
didn't come. They did. So tell us about that.
So last year was almost my breaking point. Almost. Last year, I would say probably September. Again, when the mayor had his press conference, that's when I kind of wanted to quit. But I was fortunate enough that we just got a new sergeant transferred in from PSA 1 to my unit. He signed up for the unit. He got transferred in. And I don't want to say his name, but he's a great guy. He was a great sergeant to me, still to this day. He, coming from where he was, PSA 1, how active he was, to a slow unit like this, he was very surprised. But when he came in contact with me and seeing how much I wanted to work, like the appreciation that I have for this guy, for allowing me to still do my job for the homeless unit, but allowing me to branch off and go out there and fucking get whatever it is that you want. I'm going to back you. You want to make a collar? We're going to get a collar. You want a tab? I'm going to help you tab. I couldn't get that anywhere else, let alone from other cops. The other cops were the same level. Nah, let's just chill. Maybe 1 tab is fine. I'm coming back with 6 tabs, 7 tabs or summonses for transit, just in case. I don't know if anyone knows. I'm coming back with a stack of tabs. That's just how I am. He made my time a little more enjoyable. Hence why I got even a year in now. But now it's just like, how much more? He's almost close to retiring. So I'm still going to be asked out. And what they've been telling me was back in January, we're going to get more cops. The graduating class coming. Oh, we're going to get new cops. New cops, we could potentially get you out of here. I said, all right, I'll wait it out. January came, hoping for February. No bodies for February. No, you know what? It's going to be April. It was a mistake. April's class, we're going to get like 10 cops. I said, all right, perfect. April came, tumbleweed, nothing. May, June, July. Every single time, waving it in front of me, but moving it further. To the point where I feel like now you're playing games with me. I want to get the hell out of here. It was very apparent. Everybody knew it wasn't a secret. Oh, Cruz wants to leave? No. And it's just crazy that when I told them, I will quit. Cruz, as active as you are, come on, Cruz, you can't leave. But the day that I said I came with everything packed, disassembled everything, brought it back to the command, I'm here to quit. I gave my badge and ID. Whoa, how can this be? Whoa, why? Don't question me now. I've been telling you all these months and years. I built it up. I've asked for the help. Now it's when, let me see if I can make a call for you. Wait. Let me see if I can contact this office. But hold on, don't leave yet. It's too late, man. It's too late. My mind's already set. Y'all just keep playing with me at that point. That's how it felt. The department felt like the department was playing around with me, And again, like I said, I didn't just stand still doing nothing and still quiet. I was very vocal about how I was feeling and what it is that I wanted. And I've reached out to different places and units to get the help. EAU, military extend leave. I even thought, damn it, I'll do like a family emergency, whatever. Nothing. So what else do I have to do? I have to tell EAU that I'm in a crisis situation and I feel like I want to kill myself? That's to the extent that I got to go to get that help from EAU? I see cops and I've interacted with cops that, not for nothing, but kind of worry me because they look so disgruntled, so disheveled, and nothing positive comes out of their mouth. Nothing. I can still talk positive about the department, and I can still talk positive about other cops and the unit. But I spoke to other cops that can't even do none of that. And you're walking around with a gun, and nothing is being done to help you. And I don't expect every cop in that situation to be able to reach out and get the help that they need. They might feel embarrassed. They might feel shame. I get that. But I think the department should do something a little more proactive in sending out the help. Even if it does nothing but send out the help. Let us cops feel that you guys truly care. Not when an MOS passes, that now you line up and block the streets in blue because we lost one. This is tragic.
So what would you say the overall morale of the department is with the cops that you've interacted with, you came out of the academy with, and from people that you've talked to? How's the morale in the department currently?
And this is only, again, my point of view and my experience here in transit. Because I know cops on patrol and housing that are having a blast, that I get jealous of watching them online. I have them on Instagram, and I'm like, damn, yo, y'all doing it. Y'all living good. Y'all being a cop. But here in transit, and the few that I spoke to, it's low. It's low. I'm hearing problems begin with their family, with their wives, with their husbands, with their kids. Like, I'm firsthand seeing it stir up the beginning of the, hopefully not, but the beginning of the end. You know?
You've just watched a clip from our live episode. Click the description to watch the full episode. Like, share, and subscribe for more videos just like this.